Welcome to Annatude, a relationship podcast about love, friendships, and everything in between. Hello, and welcome to Annatude with Anna. I'm here to talk about first of all, this is going to be a recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But before I do that, we got to talk about the Met Gala. So let me preface this by saying I am not a fashionista. I'm more of a maxinista, and I love a Ross journey. But and also right now I'm wearing leggings from like 2014, and I have a shirt that has a ketchup stain on it and a mustard stains from probably eating a hot dog. So I just wanted to make a disclaimer that I am in no way, shape, or form a fashion icon, but I do have eyeballs and I can see. So I really just want to discuss the looks of the Met Gala. So the Met Gala, I don't even know why they subject the public to everybody's fashion choices, because these celebrities it's never 100% of the celebrities understanding what the theme is. And the ones that really don't. I feel like there should be instruction manuals given to people like, hey, the theme this year is, I don't know, Boss Baby. And I don't know why that would be a theme, but everybody, please do your best rendition of what a boss baby looks like to you. And that way, like, people would understand. So let's, for example, talk about the year that the theme was camp. So if you are unsure of what camp is, no, it's not packing up your sleeping bag and a can of beans and heading into the forest. Camp is like hijinks, wacky, like subtle wackiness that like is very like I would say intellectual wackiness is camp. So I just remember Carly Kloss, who is like a fashion model or whatever. She posted a tweet like an hour before the Met Gala and was like, looking camp right in the eye. And it was a picture of her eye in a makeup compact mirror. And it was just like, girl, stop. Anyway, so everybody like showed up not camp. I think the only person that was actually camp was Lady Gaga, which truly her whole like theme of her life is camp. You know, i.e. the meat dress, the, you know, heels that are like 40 inches tall. So she was the only one that was like truly camp. And I think like Katy Perry was like in a hamburger costume. Katy Perry is always like, oh, I'm so silly, I'm going to put on this hamburger, or like I'm going to dress like a hot Cheeto. And she just, it's truly go girl, give us nothing. And just Katy Perry gets on my ever-loving last nerve. Sorry for the Katy cats out there. I do purchase her sandals, her jelly sandal line. So, other than that, she has made little to no contributions that are good to this world. Do you guys remember when Katy Perry had that song? And I used to listen to it, but this was before I was an adult and also before I had like any sense and taste in music. But she had a song called You're So Gay and You Don't Even Like Boys. And that would not fly. She would be canceled. And it was a horrible song. Like, I went back and listened to it. I think she tried to scrub it from the internet, as she should. But it's just not even a good song. So it was basically talking about a guy who's like feminine, or like not like the masculine type that women hold a standard to, like for men. But it was awful. It was very cancelable nowadays. But anyway, let's get back to the Met Gala. So I just want to talk about these looks. First of all, I want to talk about Kim and Kanye. Why won't they leave us alone? Like, please, I'm begging you, leave us alone. Like, they were wearing these outfits, and the theme this year was America. Like, this is America, which to me, you could do a lot with a little, but also like America is very extravagant, ridiculous, and also like I say all the time, America is just a third world country with a Gucci belt on. And I think people could have really played that up if they had any like sense of humor. But it basically, to me, I took the theme as like, you know, like maybe you wanted to do like the fashion throughout time and you pick something that is like iconic to America, which is like denim jeans. Why didn't Britney why wasn't she invited? That girl is free now. Please invite her to everything. She also, my girl is engaged. Shout out to her hot ass fiance Sam. He is so, oh my god, he's so fine. But anyway, why didn't they like get invited and they could have wore their jean out, like she could have wore her jean outfit she wore with Justin to the VMAs, but made Sam wear it, which would be, I mean, truly iconic. But like denim jeans, that is like America to me. Daisy Dukes, America. I would have to say like you could even do like, I saw some Diana Ross moments from a few celebs, but Kim and Kanye showed up in what to be like a outfit somebody would come to like rob you in, and it just, they get on my last nerves. Like everything they wear is so underwhelming, and everybody tries to act like they're such like fashion forward people and a fashion forward couple, but all their outfits are fucking trash. Let's be real. Kim's outfits they just truly remind me of everything you can get off of Fashion Nova. And I know Fashion Nova like copies Kim, but Fashion Nova, if Fashion Nova is copying you, that means your taste is cheap and it can be replicated. So therefore you're not fashionable. I know Kim's listening to this. She's probably crying, doing that ugly cry face she normally does, but I don't care. And Kanye, I need him to get 5150 because first of all, he severely needs like mental counseling, and also Donda sucked. Like I need him to pay for his crimes that he committed with that album. It was horrible. So anyway, nary a good outfit was to be seen on the red carpet, besides like there was a select few, like Barbie Fiera from Euphoria. She looked stunning. Wasn't really feeling the eyebrows, but I guess that was like on brand because methy eyebrows were like, that's truly America right there. Like I think when I think of like methy eyebrows, I do think of the time in like the early 2000s when all of us were plucking our eyebrows to absolute hell and back. So Barbie Fair was killing it. Who else looked decent? I would have to say maybe Iman, gorgeous. She is so just timeless beauty. First of all, can we talk about Sierra, the singer Sierra? Or I wouldn't call her singer, the performer Sierra. I understand she loves her husband to death, but girl, that dress with his number on it, truly yuck. Ugh, vomit. Sick. It just wasn't even it was a great cut, a great silhouette. But it was just like, I don't know. I guess gaudy would be like America, like whatever, but it just wasn't. I don't know. I will have to say I'm going to give it to Kendall Jenner. She looked great. Who else looked decent? As far as the women, Zoe Kravitz, she could literally put a plastic bag or a burlap sack over her body and I'd be like, hell yeah. Who keeps inviting Rita Ora places? What does Rita Ora do? Like I remember in the mid 2000s she had a song, but I don't even remember it, and I feel like it was like a fever dream. But ever since then, she's like been everywhere, and it's like, who's inviting her? Does anybody get invited? Alicia Keys looked whatever. She's just, I can't get behind her because when she was telling everybody not to wear makeup, but she was wearing makeup to make it look like she didn't wear makeup, on my nerves. Who else looked decent? Pharrell was wearing a bolo tie, which I could get behind. I love a bolo tie on a man, like in an ironic way. Joan Smalls looked great. She was wearing this Ralph Lauren, like it was kind of basic, but it did what it had to do. Also, who looked great was not Shawn Mendes. Get another person where I'm like, who is inviting him? And how did he get famous without... the Shawn Mendes and the Camila Cabello, because I know she's like to be called Cabello because she is a spicy white woman. They keep trying to shove that couple in our face, and I'm like, just get them out. Lupita Nyong'o looked amazing. She was wearing this like blue Versace dress, and she had her hair very natural, and it was gorgeous. Lil Nas X, yeah, sure. Regina King looked great, and her date was Michael Kors. You couldn't get Michael Kors if you're fucking Michael Kors. My favorite line ever. But can we talk about, speaking of you couldn't get Michael Kors if you're fucking Michael Kors, Nicki Minaj, that girl, I try, because I am an OG Barb. Like, I used to think I was Nicki Minaj for the longest time. Like, when Itty Bitty Piggy came out, you couldn't tell me shit. I got my bangs immediately cut straight across, immediately put some pink extensions in my hair that looked a hot mess, immediately bought, like, a vest and pushed my boobs up. Like, I was a Barb through and through. I can't get behind Nicki Minaj anymore. Like, I can't even, like, support her because, one, she hasn't come out, like, with a solid, like, catalog of, like, not catalog, a solid album in a long time. Because you can't even call it, like, I guess since Roman Reloaded, I don't know, that was probably the last time she had, like, a cohesive album that I didn't absolutely hate every song on. But she tweeted she wasn't at the Met Gala because she's not vaccinated, and you had to be vaccinated to go to the Met Gala, which everybody just, what are you pushing back on? Because all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're going to miss events. You're going to miss concerts. You're going to miss weddings. You're going to miss funerals. You're going to miss a lot of things because you're trying to, like, prove a point that isn't going to be proved. So she tweeted that she's hesitant to get the vaccine until she gets more information, because she heard from her cousin in Trinidad that his friend got the vaccination and then his testicles got bigger. I don't know if she's trolling us, because Nikki loves to troll. But if she's not trolling us, I'm going to need her to, like, cease and desist on talking ever again. So that's why Nicki Minaj, everybody's like, where's Nicki Minaj? Which I don't know who they are, but, like, people are tweeting, like, where are you, girl? And she, like, had to comment by saying, because she's not vaccinated, she wasn't invited. Okay, let's go back. Carla Delevingne, or however the hell you say her name, was wearing Christian Dior, but she wore a vest, like, it looked like a bulletproof vest, said "Peg the Patriarchy," which, go off, queen. I don't know, and I know, let's just talk about it. The AOC dress, the tax the rich, which, okay, I'm all for it. Absolutely, tax those fucking bastards. And don't get mad if you're listening to this podcast. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not rich, because rich people don't listen to podcasts. But they're talking about people who make over $400,000. And I guarantee none of you do. And I'm going to tell you why. I want you to go into your living room. I want you to look at your couches. Do they touch the wall? Okay, that means you're not wealthy. Wealthy people's furniture do not touch the wall because they have space to create a space where their furniture doesn't touch a wall. And if you have a white refrigerator, honey, I'm almost in tears, honey, almost, because a white refrigerator, ooh, child, the ghetto. Like, if you have any of those things, you're not wealthy, so they're not talking to you about taxing the rich. So just, stay calm. But wearing this dress, I get what she was trying to do. Tax the rich at an event with rich people. Yes, that is very ballsy of her. But I am just tired. I love AOC, and I love, like, that she's, she goes there. But I just want these senators, congressmen, congresswomen to do their jobs and to put the policies in place and put the action behind their words and behind their dresses. And also, this dress did nothing for me. Like, it was just, it was whatever. So yes, but let's tax the rich and then we're going to eat them, everybody. So moving on to A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. I don't know if it's because A$AP Rocky is involved, but Rihanna's getting on my nerves, and I know it's going to bother a lot of people, right? Rihanna is my queen, icon, legend. I love Rihanna. She can do no wrong in my eyes besides date this man. And I'm going to tell you why. So A$AP Rocky, great musical artist, has a great catalog of music. However, he's very colorist, and he has made comments about dark-skinned black women. And he's also made comments about he doesn't care about like Black Lives Matter because it doesn't bother him because he lives in the hills. He lives in Calabasas. He lives wherever the Kardashians do. So the police aren't going to kill him, which is like, newsflash. They will kill your ass because I guarantee none of them are Pretty Flacco fans. So he lost all my respect. Do I still listen to A$AP Rocky? Absolutely. It's a blessing. I mean, it's my cross I have to bear, that I cannot stay away from like the musical part, the artistry of A$AP Rocky. But what I can say is that he wore this like quilted blanket, like this smallpox ass blanket, and then took it off to reveal nothing but a fucking tuxedo. And it's like, bitch, you keep the fucking smallpox blanket on. We didn't need to see your Charlie Chaplin ass outfit underneath, because that was giving us nothing. Like, truly, go girl, give us nothing. And now let me get to Rihanna. She said, I'm an immigrant. I guess this is how people dress in America. I don't know what she was doing. It just wasn't giving what I think she thought it was going to give. But I love her anyway. Come out with some more music and leave A$AP Rocky, please. So anyway, let's get to Jennifer Lopez. Another person where I'm just like, please leave us alone. What did we do to you to deserve this? Like, what is happening? So she was wearing a dress, great body, obviously, a fur, and then like a Carmen Sandiego hat. Where is Carmen Sandiego? And just J-Lo, I don't even know. I'm just not even gonna, whatever. Gigi Hadid, sorry, excuse me. She looked great. She looked fabulous. She just had a baby. Congrats to her and the team and her fine ass baby daddy. Megan Thee Stallion looked beautiful. I'm glad she fired her old stylist because he had her looking like a professional wrestler. Kim Petras went to the wrong theme. She was supposed to be at camp, the camp theme, and she was wearing a dress with a horse on it. She's a horse girl. I don't know what's going on. And Madonna's daughter was there. It looked like something from like prom 2014, like when like girls go and get their prom dresses custom made and they want to show like extra boobie, extra body, they go get it made like at a seamstress. Like that's what Madonna's daughter looked like. The men truly were just so underwhelming. Like men's fashion sucks. Like Pete Davidson, I know girls love him and people like him and they say he has like big dick energy, but he looks like he hasn't showered in at least 5 days. Let's see. Troye Sivan was wearing a gender fluid outfit, which I love that for him. I love that for them. Saweetie looked amazing. Amazing. You can tell she has never eaten her sweetie meal for real, because like body snatched, goals, love. Let's see who else we have here. Who is Evan Mock? Does anybody know who that is? Billie Eilish. Are you an eyelash, everybody? Let me know. Adrian Brody. Ooh. Look at that pianist daddy. Come play my piano over here. Okay. I've always had a crush on him. I don't know why either. But he looked great. James Corden, once again, please stop shoving him down our throats. We don't want to see him. But is there anybody else that stood out? I don't know. Just everybody looks whatever. Keke Palmer looked great. I love Keke Palmer. Ever since she said she didn't know who Joe Biden was and she said, sorry to this man, I don't know this man. I love her. Ilana Glazer, she just had a baby too. She looks smashing. Emma Chamberlain, I think she's a TikToker or a YouTuber or something. Why is she there? And Timothy Chalamet is wearing Converse and sweatpants. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah. I don't know. It's just like fashion sucks. It's like going back. Do you guys remember the fashion in the early 2000s where like people were wearing like layered camisole tank tops? They were wearing like belts over like shirts for no reason and like Ugg boots. Like I feel like it's going back to a place of early 2000s. So, well, that was my correspondence on the Met Gala. I hope next year they have me actually be a correspondent and I can like tell these people to their face, your outfit's truly trash. I would love to do that. But actually I wouldn't do that. It'd be nice. I'd be like, so what are you wearing? And I'd be like, oh, I'm wearing Rick Owens. And I'd be like, is Rick Owens wearing you or are you wearing Rick Owens? And then I would get promptly escorted out by security. Anyway, so this is the time where we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So if you're not into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, turn this off. Well, actually, I want you to like literally reflect. Why the fuck aren't you watching any Real Housewives? Or why aren't you watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake? Because it's truly Real Housewives deserves a Peabody. Like these women, these rich women or quote unquote rich women they always give great performances. So Real House of Salt Lake City last season was great. Well, we left the girls, Heather, I almost forgot her name, Whitney. I was going to call her for some reason Wild Rose, but that's like her makeup line. Heather and Whitney are obviously related, but they're on, each other's sides. Like, and Heather is beefing with Lisa and Jen Shah, who got Shaw arrested. And then we have Meredith, who's beefing with Lisa Barlow as well, which Lisa Barlow, I don't know if she's like on 25 different like benzos, but everything. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love that. Oh my God. Love it. So she's just a character. And then we have Mary, the cult leader, Church Mary, who married her grandfather. I'm telling you guys, if you're not watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake, you're missing out. It's mind-boggling how these women have, lived their lives like without me knowing about them until last year. So Mary, who is a cult leader and married her grandfather willingly as an adult woman. I mean, it's her step-grandfather, so it's not her biological paternal or maternal grandfather. It's her step grandpa, but still she married her grandpa. Like he like got married to her mom, so that's her grandpa. That's weird. So Mary is on the outs with Jen Shah as well, and it's just these ladies be always beefing. So the scene opens up explosive, honey. So we got Jen on the bus. We got Whitney coming in with the shot ski. We got Lisa, I love it, Barlow. We got Heather, good time girl. And Mary and Meredith are coming separately. They're all going to like the beauty lab, which is Heather's business. And they are ready to turn up. Jen Shah, if you're going to get arrested, do what Jen Shah did. She was braided down and she had a great face of makeup on. She had a great outfit on. She looked good. Honey looked good. She looked ready to go to jail. She looked ready to get Shaw arrested. So they're on this like party bus, and then Jen Shah's husband calls her, which her husband is a football coach for Utah. College coach, and if he's a head coach or I don't know, something. He's a coach. He coaches a sports ball. So he calls Jen, and he must have been like, "Yo, you about to get fucking arrested. The jig is up. Come home so you can at least get arrested with some dignity." So she's like, "Oh my God." So she's like, tells Whitney. Whitney, who talks like this and like doesn't understand. So tells Whitney to take off her or turn off her mic, and Jen leaves. Then all of a sudden the FBI busts up, comes in, and the FBI is like, we're looking for Jen Shah. And then everybody's like, oh, like gasping, oh my goodness. And Whitney's like, oh my God. And then like the news comes in, Jen Shah arrested for fraud. So I guess if you guys don't know, Jen Shah has been arrested for like wire fraud and doing like those fraudulent like phone calls to like old people and people who think that their car has an extended warranty, which is like, they wouldn't call you about that, but she's been doing those like cold calls. And basically her business is like a shell business where like it's not really a business, but she's like, you know, doing like tax write-offs, just being a fraud. Like, so the feds are, you know, one thing you don't mess with is like government and their money. They're going to come find you. Like, you can get away with drugs for a little bit, like selling drugs, but as soon as like you're like making too much money and not paying taxes, or like you're, you know, stepping on the government's toes, they're going to come get your ass. So the FBI busts into, and where's Jen Shah? And then the news comes out in real time, and Whitney, Wild Rose, is like, oh my God, I got the chills. Jen is fraud. She's doing fraud. And everybody's like, oh my God. And Lisa's like, I love that. I mean, she didn't really say that, but I'm sure she was thinking about saying it because, you know, why not? So fast, or like they rewind to like months prior, and we see that some of the girls have moved to do new houses. Meredith and Jen have moved to different houses. I guess Jen was leasing her house or renting out her Shaw chalet, and now she has a different chalet and a big ass closet full of like clothes and shoes and purses that were bought with like fraudulent funds, which is like, I don't know why these women, I mean, I know why, but they go on these shows and flaunt like their wealth, and the feds can use that against you. I mean, Erica Jane, Teresa Giudice, so Erica Jane from Real House of Beverly Hills is also under fire because her husband, Tom Girardi, is like, he was a fraudulent lawyer stealing settlement money from burn victims. Somebody with like a vaginal mesh like contraption that went wrong and caused like a whole bunch of issues. He like stole their settlement money. A plane crashed, and he stole their settlement money, which means like people who don't have parents and people who don't have husbands anymore, like he took their money. So anyway, Erica, who was patting her puss on Broadway, which if you guys don't understand the Pat the Puss reference, she used to say that all the time. And I used to love Erica. I obviously have a very bad taste I have a very bad judgment because like I loved Erica Jane so much. I was like all about Erica Jane. So she was a singer, and I use that term very loosely. She had this song called Expensive, and I loved it. I used to listen to it all the time, and I'm probably the reason why I got so many streams, because it was such a great song. It was ridiculous, but I'm sure the feds are using that for evidence. If you can use Bobby Shmurda's, like the song he came out with in 2014 against him, you can use Expensive with the S is a $, against Erica Jane, because she literally told everybody how expensive it was to be her, and that she's like $1 million diamond, and she flies all these places and has a glam squad and pats her puss. So she basically like is acting like she's playing dumb, and you can't play dumb because the feds have access to your bank records. And then let's go back to Teresa Giudice from Real House of New Jersey. She used to pay for like big purchases with cash money, like thousands and thousands of dollars. I remember she went on a shopping spree at like a furniture store, and like it was like $10K, and she's like, I'll put out, it was more than that. I feel like it was like $35K or something. It was a lot of money, but she's like, I'll pay for it cash. She talks like that. I'm going to pay for it cash. And your prostitution whore married 13 times. Teresa Giudice is iconic. She and Danielle Staub, my favorite feud ever. So anyway, back to Jen Shah. So Jen Shah's like moved into a new house that she's renting, and she's showing off all her purses and shoes to Lisa I Love It Barlow. And then Jen Shah was like very, very like toxic last season. Like she would get into fights about everything, and everybody has a like. I have had a friend like Jen where you go somewhere and they are looking to fight or get into an argument about nothing. Those are the worst people ever. And it's usually because they're trying to like, they're projecting and deflecting what's going on in their life. So like this all makes sense, you know, now looking back at the first season of why she was like throwing glasses at people, yelling and screaming at everybody, crying, get in people's faces, because she was, you know, she had to have known that the feds were coming for her, and also that she knew her life was just fraudulent. Like at the end of the day, you can have as many purses and shoes and like clothes that you want, but like if you're not living right, you're not going to be feeling right. So Jen Shah is talking to Lisa about last season, or just like the last year, and how like she realizes like she needs to like make the amends with people and make things right, but also that her husband is like ready to leave her ass, which I think he should, because she seems very like unwilling to fix herself and actually listen to whatever therapist she's going to. And her husband seems like a very like level-headed person that only wants the best for her and their kids, and I don't think she appreciates it. So basically what I'm saying is, Coach Shaw, when you leave Jen, please call me. Because I love a man who travels and leaves me alone, but also like lets me do whatever the fuck I want. Like that's my dream. Please, I need to either marry like a football coach for like a college or professional team, or a music artist that's like on tour 364 days out of the year, so I only see them one day. So that's my goal. Anyway, so yeah, so she tells him that, or tells Lisa that he was going to leave her and that he contacted a divorce attorney, which is like, how do you move on from that? Like the process, he was like in the process of getting a divorce, and like, what did she say to like stop him from doing that? Like, I don't know if I hope it wasn't something like gaslight, like she gaslit him into staying with her, or I hope it was a mutual decision to like work on their marriage. So then we see that, you know, Jen is just like trying to be like the calm version of herself and trying to like make things right. And then we go to Meredith's house. Heather skis to her house. I didn't really pay attention to this scene because Heather bothers me, and I know she's a fan favorite because she eats food, I guess. I don't know why everybody was like sucking her dick, but she ordered meatballs on a stick or something, and everybody's like, oh my god, she's so relatable. I hate when people act like we don't eat, or like girls don't eat. I don't know one girl like for real that doesn't eat. All my girls be grubbing, all my bitches be eating. So I don't know what this whole fascination of it's relatable to like eat pizza or like eat Doritos and wipe the crumbs on your shirt. Like everybody does it. So I really didn't pay attention to the scene because I don't really like either one of them. Like I don't like Heather because like she's whatever to me. She's like, I just don't get the hype around her. And I don't like Meredith because I feel like she's, I don't know, there's something about her. One, she's boring to me, and two, I just don't like, I don't like her husband. I don't like her kids. Like I don't like anything about Meredith. So, and I used to get her confused with Lisa too. That's how like unremarkable she is. So they're talking about something about Heather's talking about wanting her girls to go to college and like suck dick. And I'm just like, oh my God. Cause she was a Mormon and wasn't allowed to do that. So now she wants her daughters to like suck dick. And it's like, what? I don't think that's like, don't encourage that. I mean, nobody's saying not to, but also like, You don't have to. Sucking dick's not even that fun as a woman. So anyway, that's what they're talking about. Her daughter's sucking dick in college. And then we're back with Jen and her family. We get to see the aunt that smelled like hospital. And I read on Jen's Twitter that she died in June, which is sad. Rest in peace, Aunt Nani. You did not smell like hospital. Mary is a hater. Oh, excuse me. I just sneezed. So then, yeah, they're just like, Jen is talking about her relationship with Sharif and how her and Sharif are like the rock of the family. And then she doesn't remember her kid's birthday or like how old he is, which, okay. I understand. I mean, my dad doesn't remember how old we are, but that's because like he's my dad, or like men just don't. I don't even think my dad knows how old he is, to be honest, or how long he and my mom have been together, or anything, or what day of the week it is. But moms usually are pretty on that. Like, they know, like, their kid's birthday. So that kind of, like, was... I mean, she probably has a lot on her mind. She probably, like, as she was filming this, like, confessional of saying she didn't know how old her son was, like, the feds were raiding her house or something. So she's like, I can't really think right now. The feds have a gun to the back of my head. So... her son is turning 27 and he's hot, and I feel bad. I just feel bad for, like, this family just seems like scared of Jen, and like everything's about like her mood, and it's probably very hard to be around her. So she seems very narcissistic. So then we move on to the women having lunch. Wait, is that what happens next? I think so. I think they're at lunch. It doesn't really matter what order the scene's going, because I'm just going to talk shit about every scene. So they're eating lunch, and of course Heather and the food. I'm going to order all the appetizers because these bitches leave it up to them, and they're going to order a Caesar salad. I have to share with Caesar salad. So she orders all these appetizers, which is like, cool, bitch. Like, who amongst us, I just want to know who amongst us has not, like, been the girl to order, like, I don't know, this is not relatable to me. It's relatable, but it's like annoyingly relatable, because it's like, why do women act like women don't eat? They do. We have to eat. We need sustenance to survive. Like, I don't understand what this whole thing about, like, I'm ordering Taco Bell because I'm the only one that has meat on her bones. It's like, bitch, okay, we get it. You love food. Who doesn't? So she orders all these appetizers. It's her, Mary, Meredith, and the new girl, Jenny, which she seems like a good time. And who else is there? I think that's it, because Lisa wasn't invited, and neither was Jen, obviously, because everybody hates her. Oh, and then Whitney's there. She's just like, oh my God. Meredith says her dad died, and that's sad. And then everybody's telling about how their dads are dead also. And Mary, cult leader Mary, says a prayer. They bless the food, and then they eat. And then we move on to the scene with Whitney, her weird husband, and that her stepsons are like, they're her age, and she went to like school with their friends, which is, I mean, it's whatever, but also it's like, I think she was like too excited to tell the nation that her stepsons are like 10 years younger than her, and that she went to high school. So, well, one of her stepsons is like 6 years younger than her, but she went to high school with their friends, or like, I don't know. It's just like, girl, stop. You knew this was going to happen when you got with that man, and he had kids that were like when you were 20 and they were 17. Like, you knew damn well. So yeah, they like do shots because it's like the stepson's birthday, and they do the shot ski. Which we used to do that in the universe. Well, I never did it because I thought it was gross, because it's like other people's lips have been touching it. So like a shot ski is like, there's like 4 shot glasses on the ski, and then you do it at the same time. And that, I mean, I don't know, that's pretty much self-explanatory, but I never did those in school because, like, we had them in college in Wyoming, and I never did them because it's like, why would I want to put my lips around something that's probably 15 other people have put their lips on, and this probably has GHB in it. So I never did it myself, but people used to do it all the time. So they also get drunk, have like a foam family party, and then Whitney goes inside to get the birthday cake, and she drops it on the floor and then tries to put it back together. And I would be so mad if I found that out. Like, even if I was drunk, I'd be like, if I dropped something on the floor, I would go outside and be like, hey, I dropped your cake on the floor. I'm sorry. Like, we're all drunk anyway. We're going to eat that. Like, whatever. But she, like, tried to put it back together. Probably had, like, cat hair and dog hair on it. I don't even know if they have pets. But it had pubic hair on it. It had something on it. So she tries to put it back together. She drops it again. She's so crazy. And then brings it outside, and they have cake, and I don't know. It was whatever. So then we move on to, like, Colt Mary has a podcast, which is like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, who is listening to my podcast if there's literally 20 million podcasts out there? Show yourselves if you're still listening to Annatude. So yeah, she does her little podcast with these, like, two guys, and they talk about, like, smoking weed, and she's like, yeah, like, I smoked a blunt. I don't remember the last time I smoked a blunt. And I'm like, ooh, Jesus is gonna strike you down, girl. So I wonder if she repented for that, if she's repented for every hit of the blunt that she did. So I hope so. But yeah, basically that's the episode. Oh, we have to get into the Brooks Marks, which is Meredith's son. I didn't even want to talk about this because I just don't like that family. There's something about them. I don't know what it is. It's just something about them. But so Jen Shah and Brooks Marks, which is Meredith's son, have beef. And basically Jen Shah, and this is the reason why, like, Meredith and Lisa kind of have, like, a feud, even though they're, like, friends. And that Jen Shah liked a bunch of tweets, like, talking about Brooks being gay, or, like, because the beef started when Jen, like, kicked her leg up at his house, and, like, he said he saw her vagina and it made him uncomfortable. But I, as a viewer, didn't see this vagina. And I get it, like, why is this woman, like, this older woman at your house, like, kicking her leg and, like, acting crazy? But, like, that's something, like, your mom and her need to discuss. Like, you need to stay out of grown folks' business and grown folks' vaginas. Like, it was just all weird. But Jen is wrong because she's, like, liking tweets about him being gay and being a twink and all this stuff. What they really should be beefing about is why the fuck Brooks Marks selling these, like, whack-ass sweatsuit sets, and, like, that just say his name on it, and people are acting like that's, like, fashion, and he had, like, a fashion show. That's what Jen should be, like, firing shots on about. But she's talking about him being gay, which is disrespectful, and also, like, I guess he hasn't come out yet to his mom even, so it's like, that's not cool either. And why are you beefing Jen Shah with a 21-year-old little child? So we go to this family dinner, the Shabbat dinner at Meredith's house. She invites Lisa. They hash it out about the Jen of it all and how she's, like, upset because they have, like, a 10-year friendship, and that, you know, like, how would she feel if, like, the same thing, if the tables were turned. And Lisa basically says, well, that's how I feel about you and Heather, because Heather called Lisa a liar, or, like, said, like, okay, so Lisa called Heather a good time girl, and which means, like, in the Mormon language, when you translate it, you look it up on Google Translate, it means, like, Heather, if you call somebody a good time girl, you're saying, like, they suck dick. So Lisa said that about Heather, and Heather's like, I'm not a good time girl, which is like, you're a 45-year-old woman. Like, who cares if somebody called you, like, a hoe? Like, truly, who cares? So Heather called Lisa a liar, and Lisa is mad at Heather, vice versa. But basically, Lisa tried to compare Meredith being friends with Heather to the feud between Jen and Meredith, which is like, nah, girl, that ain't the same thing. But go off, queen. Lisa, I love it, Barlow. I love it. Love that. Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, that was pretty much the episode. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for Jenny. I didn't like how she called her husband ugly. She like basically called him a butterface. She said he had a nice body, but his face was like not nice to look at. So I thought that was rude. But she seems like she's like gonna get into the mix and like get in people's faces and doesn't give a fuck. So, and Jenny's from Vietnam, and she got like kidnapped by, she was like in Vietnam, had to flee the country, left the country on a boat, and then the boat got seized by Thai pirates, and then she went to oh my god, I almost said concentration camp. She went to a refugee camp, and then, oh my god, I thought somebody broke into my house. I'm always thinking somebody's gonna break into my house. Wouldn't that be crazy if somebody broke into my house while I was on a podcast? Would you guys call the police? Well, I guess the episode wouldn't be out, but I hope you guys would preemptively, like, or posthumously call the police on my behalf. Actually, don't call the police. Fuck 12. So anyway, back to us. So basically, Jenny, the new girl, got kidnapped from this boat by Thai pirates, and then had to go to refugee camp, and then like a Christian organization sponsored her and I think her family too, and they moved to America and then became Catholic, and she married her husband who's a chiropractor, but she thinks he's ugly, which is like, girl, you are living the dream. You got a doctor, not only a doctor, my favorite kind of doctor, chiropractor. I love getting my back cracked. Like, snap me like a fucking glow stick, baby. So yeah, so Jenny seems like she about to get in the mix. Like, she don't give a fuck. She like, bitch, I've been kidnapped by Thai pirates. Like, you ain't about to come at me like that. And I love that. I love a girl that's like, what do I got to lose? I've already been through the trenches. So we'll see how we feel. So yeah, and we'll see how like Jen Shah's legal drama plays out, because I'm very interested to see. Like, she to me was like Erica was to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to me, because like I liked Jen even though she was crazy as fuck. But then now that I see all this stuff coming out, I'm like, I can't defend you, girl. Like, and also you didn't have any music that came out like Erica did that slapped. Like, I don't have any like connection to her like that, like I did Erica. But we'll see how this plays out. And I wonder if her husband knew. That's what I want to know too. And we should have known she was fraudulent, because like she had like 12 different assistants. And also one of her assistants' name was like Stew Chains, or she called him Stew Change. His name is Stuart. And he was like an older gay man that would just like drive her around. And same thing with Erica. Like, she had Mikey, her makeup assistant that she used to like do everything with. I just feel like any girl that has like a gay man as a purse, or like a gay man as like a indentured servant, is doing something fraudulent. Because yeah, that's just my thought. We should have known, because like, why was Stew Chains hanging out with her like 24/7? They obviously were scamming together. So anyway, so that was my recap on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, LiveJournal on at Annatude Pod, and email me annatudepod@gmail.com. If you want to leave a question, some comments, some hate mail, I would love to hear all of it. And find me on Patreon, patreon.com/AnnatudePod. It just supports artists like myself. Make a little bit of kashish, because let's be real. Like I said, Mary has a podcast. Everybody has a podcast. It's very difficult to make like any kind of money off of these things. But and I'm switching my podcast merch store. That is going to be TBD. But yeah. If it's day or night, love or light. Bye. Why do I keep saying love or light, guys? If it's day or night, love and light.